Hello friends of the Mythic Battles, you are watching Brothers in Dice channel. My name is Josef and today I have for you the Hephaestus expansion. This will not be an unboxing, I already unboxed the game for you, so we'll just walk you through what you find in this amazing box. Few things first. So the reprint campaign for Mythic Battles 1.5 is now closed. It was a huge success, I think. The monolith managed to get more than $1 million USD in this campaign. But I believe that they will keep the pledge manager open even after the campaign is over. So I still think it is worth to do these videos for those of you who want to see a little bit more about the content of these expansions. So this is the last big box. I have a couple of the smaller expansions as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to do videos on those. Let me know if you want to see them. If yes, I'll do some. And the other news that I wanted to tell you about is the Solomon Kane campaign that is now on the Kickstarter, which is a project of Mythic Games, the original creator of Mythic Battles. They just had a very big update. They have added more stuff to the basic pledge, so it looks even more interesting than the first time. I encourage you to check out that campaign. I already made a Solomon Kane video, so perhaps you want to see that. It is on my channel, and I might do an update video about how the Solomon Kane campaign is progressing. We'll see. But yeah, that's it from the news. Let's have a look at the Hephaestus expansion. So what will you get in the box? Of course, you will get the minis. The most prominent players in this expansion is God of the Forge Hephaestus and Prometheus, the Titan who gave us humanity fire. He was tortured for that by Zeus. Other than that, we have some other minis. I will walk you through them with the close-ups, as I usually do. So, that are the minis. We will have a campaign book. So, this campaign book has a campaign for 1 to 4 players, and it has, oh, this is the French one. Damn! So there are of course 2 books in the box, a French one and English one. There are 6 scenarios in this campaign, and basically you play for Hephaestus, who wants to give more power to the humanity, along with, strangely enough, the god of the underworld, whose name escapes me right now. Against the other gods, so opposing them is Zeus and Ares, I think. Anyway, the scenario, the campaign looks pretty cool. That's about it. I should cut this part of the video. Other than that, you will of course get all the dashboards for your heroes, god, and monsters, the activation cards and some recruitment cards, and this is away. This new board that is double-sided, we have forge map, and we have volcano map. A lot of creatures in this expansion are fire-based creatures, so a lot of fire here on the map. On the forge one, this is even more interesting. You have half of it with some water rifts, and you have the other half of it covered with lava. The lava has an effect where if you step into lava, you will suffer 5 dice attack. So mighty throw and throwing your opponents around into lava becomes really fun part of this game. Okay, let's have a look at the minis and their stats in detail. Okay, let's start with Hephaestus. The only god in this expansion is the god of the forge. He's the god of all smiths. And he has a very cool sculpt here. Just look at these muscles. And the anvil strapped on his back with some chains. This would be a lovely sculpt to paint. Looking forward to it. Eventually, once I get more time. Once I master the Chronos. Well, anyway, Hephaestus is son of Zeus. When he was born, he was such a fugly kid that Hera decided to throw him away from the Olympus. But he survived. He started a forge. He became a skillful smith. And eventually he came back, and by doing some handiwork, he managed to get Aphrodite as his wife. What do you know? Being a skilled geek might get you the hottest girl on the Olympus. The Greeks loved the geeks even before it was cool. So that's Hephaestus. Let's look at his dashboard. So, Hephaestus as Gem Collector, Mighty Throw, Block. Pretty standard stats for a god. 8 attack power, 9 defense, range 0, 1 movement. Oh, he has only 1 movement, that is unfortunate. But his special skills. Flames of the Forge. Make an area attack on one area in Hephaestus' surroundings. Then place a Flames of the Forge token in that area. A unit in an area with a Flames of the Forge token cannot be activated. So again, some crowd control. At the start of Hephaestus' owner's next turn, return Flames of the Forge token into the pool. That is pretty nice ability. He only has 1 token. Blacksmith of the Gods. When Hephaestus is recruited, the lava golems are also recruited for 0 recruitment points as part of the same turn. This is the only way the lava golems can be recruited. So you pay 6 points for him. He brings an Art of War card. He has 4 activations. Oh, yeah, he is of course fire resistant or a fire creature. But in addition to that, you will get these guys as a bonus. So these are the fire golems. And they are actually one of the best troops that you find in the game. I might have said that already, but troops are probably my favorite units, or at least, yeah, I really love troops. I really love recalling them. There are some very cool strategies that you can employ only when using troops. So again, pretty nice sculpts. They have like a hoplite helmet, but a body of lava. And I will show you their stats card. So they have attack 4, defense 6, which is pretty good for a troop. They get +1 attack if this unit is complete, and if at least 3 lava golems are in the same area as Hephaestus, that area can't suffer an area attack unless the attacker pays an extra Art of War card. So that's a pretty cool ability, since the area attacks are very common in Mythic Battles Pantheon. And what is important, well, they are again fire creatures, and what is important, they have guard, which is the best ability that a troop unit can have. You can keep recalling your troops and let them die for your god. Next we have Prometheus. It is another amazing sculpt, very heroic proportions, very big mini. He has this lava body with huge muscles and a ball of flame in his hand, holding it by chains. So the story of Prometheus is that he was the one that brought the fire to the humans. He stole it from the gods and brought the fire to us. That didn't please Zeus. So what he did is that he changed Prometheus to a rock, and there was an eagle that came every day to eat his liver, that then that would grow again, and the eagle would come again next day, and eventually our hero Heracles saved Perseus. So Perseus' stats. So I keep saying Perseus, he's of course Prometheus. He's force of nature, mighty throw block, costs 4 points, brings 4 activation cards, 2 Art of War cards, very decent stats. He's a monster, by the way, judging by the green color of his dashboard. He has regeneration, a passive ability, or actually the permanent ability. At the end of Prometheus activation, regain 1 previously lost vitality. So this is the same thing that Hydra has. I guess for him this represents the fact that he grew a new liver every day. His other ability is Primeval Fire. 1 use per game. At the end of Prometheus activation, every player takes all of the Art of War cards from their own discard pile and adds them to their hand. So, very potent ability, but you can only use it once per game. And also, your opponents get to do that too. But he's pretty good. He does have Mighty Throw, he does have block, so he has all of the important talents that you look for in a monster. Next we have Talos. This is another lava golem, but he is much bigger than the ones that we had a look at before. It looks very similar. Again, nice sculpt. Let's see him from the back. Yeah. Okay. So, he's a monster as well. He has Mighty Throw, Guard and Block. 3 activations. So this is subpar slightly, costs 4 points. Has decent stats, has defense of 10. That's unheard of. And he has Titanic Strength, so he can remove a 3D terrain element from the Telos area and place it back in the box. If you do this, make a 7 dice range 3 area attack. So this is another variation of on the Heracles ability, except it has higher range, higher strength. I think the Polyphemus has the same skill here. And he also has a passive ability, Scorching Metal. After a unit has resolved an attack against Telos, it immediately suffers a 5 dice attack against which they cannot retaliate. Scorching Metal does not count as the Telos retaliation. Yeah, so good luck killing this guy with defense of 10 and taking 5 dice attack each time you try to strike him. Pretty good. What's next? Oh, this guy. So, the eagle, and he's called Caucasian Eagle. So this is, I guess this is the guy that kept eating Prometheus's liver every day. This is such nicely sculpted, and you see. Can you see these fine details on the wings? Yeah, every feather has a texture to it. Lovely, lovely bird sculpt. Much better than the ugly harpies from the Poseidon expansion. Love this guy. Okay, Caucasian Eagle, he has flying, of course, which is super important. Caucasian Eagle costs only 2 points, that's pretty good. He has Torment, fitting. He has 4 activation cards, reasonable stats, if not overwhelming, but, well, you cannot expect the same attack and defense from a bird that you can expect from a fire giant, right? Eagle's Quarry, his ability. When the Caucasian Eagle attacks a non-flying unit, it can re-roll each blank result once. Okay, that's nice. Each blank result once. That's nice. Sky Hunter, non-flying units cannot retaliate against Caucasian Eagle. I think that Mythic Games really thought about design of these creatures. Like the mythology really reflects the rules, or actually the other way around. The rules reflect the mythology. And another monster is this guy here. This is called Hylian Bull. So it is a bull made of lava. Another beautiful sculpt. So I think that from amongst the expansions that we have looked at so far, the sculpts from this one are the best. And that was the reason why I opened this one first. Yeah, just look at him. Beautiful. So, called Hylian Bull. The first thing that you notice is that he has 3 abilities, which is unheard of. We haven't seen a unit that has 3 abilities. But first, let's look at his cost. 3, that is cheap. 3 activation cards only, okay. Mighty Throw and Block. He's also resistant to fire. The stats are, well, pretty standard for a monster. He has Devastating Fire. Make a 6 dice area attack on one area in the Caucasian Bull surroundings. Okay, so an improved area attack. Good. With range 1. Charge. Okay, this is the same thing that the Minotaur has. And we have looked at some other minis that also have very similar ability. And Conflagration. When the Hylian Bull is destroyed, all units in his area suffer a 7 dice attack. So, explosion upon destruction. So we have really offensive creature here. I like him. And the last of the monsters is this guy. Another giant we have here. He's called Akamas, with a forge hammer in his hand and a cauldron in his other hand. Lovely sculpted. Perhaps I'm not a huge fan of the head, but other than that, yeah, it looks very cool. And it is a Cyclops actually. You just have one eye. Okay, let's look at his stats. So, Akamas, 4 points, another fire resistant creature, 4 activation cards, 1 Art of War card, Force of Nature, Mighty Throw and Block. Again, one of the best talents that you can get. Very decent stats, 9 life. Then we have abilities, Molten Metal. After Akamas has resolved an attack, make a 5 dice attack against every other non-flying unit in the target's area except Akamas himself. Okay, so he does an additional area attack to anything that he hasn't attacked the first time. Cuirass. Akamas suffers a maximum of 2 wounds from each attack. Excess wounds are wasted. So, an ability that improves his survivability. That is nice. And then we have the only lonely single hero in this box. It is a heroine actually. So this is Pandora, the girl who unleashed all sorts of ailments on humanity by opening a box that she wasn't supposed to open. Lovely sculpt. Yeah, the sculpt is beautiful. I will show you her dashboard. So she costs 2 points. She has 3 activation cards, and well, her stats are sad. She has 0 attack, but she has actually pretty good defense. She has 5 life, and she has these 2. Oops, we're looking at the French version. She has these 2 abilities. Evils of Mankind. At the end of Pandora's activation, every player discards half their hand rounded up. So this is very interesting. It can quite change the flow of the game. It does cost an activation card. So, you know, it will cost you a little bit more than your opponent, but if you time this right, it could be really powerful. And then Pandora's Hope. Pandora gains +1 offense for each card in her owner's hand. Calculate this bonus each time Pandora attacks. So, this is again an ability that you need to build around. she doesn't look like a very offensive character, but just imagine pulling this off right after the deck flip, especially when your opponent flips the deck. You will draw the rest of your deck to your hand. You will draw 3 extra cards. Then when it's your turn, you will draw another card. So you might very well have like 12 cards in your hand. And she will have then offensive skill of 12. So that looks, you know, it is a build around. I wouldn't pick her high in a competitive game, but she can be tons of fun when playing with friends for fun. And finally, we have one more troop here. Again, a set of amazing sculpts. So these are mechanical warriors. Let me see if I can get some focus. Oh yes, yes, yes. There it was. There it was. There was the focus. Where did it go? Oh, come on. Yeah, okay, finally. So, mechanical warriors. These have been forged by Hephaestus, I imagine. They look like hoplites with some Wolverine claws. Really love these minis. And as far as their stats go, they are also pretty good. They are not as good as the golems, but they have attack of 3, but they will get +1 if there are at least 3 of them. They start at 4, by the way. They have defense of 4. Yeah, again, not as good as the golems, but they do have 1 range and they move 1. And they have this ability. If this unit contains at least 2 warriors, they can make an area attack. So far we have seen this only on those birds, those mechanical birds from the Hera expansion, if I remember correctly. And a super important thing, yes, they do have guard, and they are fire creatures. So there you have it. That's everything from Hephaestus expansion. Stay tuned for more content on this channel. Let me know what you want to see next. I still have the small expansions for the game. I'm thinking about doing the painting tutorials, which are definitely coming up, and maybe some Let's Plays. And I was also thinking about doing some tactics talks on Mythic Battles. But anyway, that is it. Thank you for watching. Like if you like this, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you next time. Bye.